One Love Fab. Shouts out to them. They started putting me on shows, taking me to radio stations.
And how old were you when you were in Germany?
I think I moved out there when I was 19. Yeah, so I started recording like around there. Before that, I had never recorded anything, just rapping around school. You know what I mean?
Just like you said, taking your brother's raps, right?
Taking my
trying to
brother's
emulate
rap.
it.
Yeah. Shouts out to my brother Tommy.
What was he listening to? What was he kind of influenced by?
We was listening to everything. It's crazy because we was talking about Rap A Lot Records earlier in Ghetto Boys, so we was listening to Ghetto Boys, of course Tupac, a lot of gangster rap because at this time I was living in Las Vegas, Nevada. And
that's definitely good LA, yeah.
Yeah, in the 90s, it was a lot of Bloods and Crips and shit going on.
That's what we were just talking about earlier. When they got booted out of LA or they could no longer either go to jail or move out of town, the first spot was Las Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
The second spot was Denver, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think Denver's I think a lot of people came here because they wanted to kind of get away, but kind of start their own shit, you know what I mean? Like, not really have anyone above them, like, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And when you're already from a gang from LA and you're in Denver or even St. Louis or anything, everyone's going to look up to you, no doubt, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, in Vegas, it was crazy because it was a lot of, at schools, you couldn't wear certain teams, everything that you see on Boys in the Hood, Jerry Curls and Chuck Taylors and Dickies, that was the climate out there.
It was really gangbang like that, right?
Oh, yeah.
What year was this again? I'm sorry.
We talking early 90s, man.
Because I was going to say, I graduated in 92. And I missed the summer of violence here when that shit started cracking. I remember little things starting to happen when, my senior year and whatever. But I kind of went to Albuquerque and stood there. I didn't come back for the summer or nothing, you know what I mean? But it kind of went down, gangbanging was getting real,
Yeah, man. Drive-bys on the first day of school.
For real?
Yeah, man.
Wow.
It was wild.
My school was like a Crip high school, bro. And I remember on those half days or those days when you'd have finals, you know what I mean? The Bloods would always come to our school and you know what I mean? They would try to fight the Crips and shit,
Yeah.
They would try to run up into school and shit, and I just never understood it, bro. How you run up in a school full of Crips?
It's crazy, man.
There's 5 of y'all.
Yeah, I mean, right now you see Bloods and Crips hanging together, but in the 90s that shit didn't fly. Everything was segregated,
Yeah. Where'd you go after, what happened after, Vegas? You said you moved to Germany?
I moved to New Mexico. So I was out in New Mexico. I moved there my first year in high school, graduated. Then my pops, he was in the military, so he got out the military, and then we moved to Germany. And at first I didn't want to go, because...
you probably weren't having it at all,
I was like, fuck this, but... when I went out there, and mind you, I wasn't in Albuquerque. I was in a small town called Clovis, New Mexico.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah, so, I mean, and I've always been a hip-hop head, so the most hip-hop I got was Rap City and The Source magazine. When I went out to Germany, because, the military bases, you have so many different people, different walks of life.
Yeah.
So, even we were talking about mixtapes earlier, the brothers on the base, they were selling them the Clue mixtapes, Tony Touch mixtapes. So yeah, I kind of got exposed to something different that I didn't see in New Mexico. And then, I was reluctant to even step foot off the base. And I was working at this pizza shop, and these guys, they took me downtown, and I went to a club right after work, and I met a brother by the name of Bushy Eyebrows. He passed out a CD to me. And he had his contact information. Now in New Mexico, we didn't really have anybody that was trying to make it in rap. So when I met him, I was really intrigued by him. So took his information down, called him. He introduced me to my man Matt Rush, and then from there it was on and cracking. Yeah.
What's the hip hop scene in Albuquerque nowadays? Is it grown? Has it got bigger? Because I was down there in 92, 93, man, and I don't ever remember hearing any kind of local music.
Right.
There were a couple of dope DJs, you know what I mean? I remember one thing, man, is I give Albuquerque props for, is they used to have a super dope mixtape show every night.
Oh, yeah.
Denver's never had that live mixing DJing, I'm talking getting down.
Right.
I remember there was this cat, and I don't remember his name, but he used to DJ at one of the clubs, but he put Black Trump beat to Timberland and Magoo, and it was the wildest shit I ever heard, bro. He would just come up with those crazy, fucking acapellas, the beats, and just make you fucking just want to be a DJ, bro, for real. I'd go to the club and watch a DJ, and like he was playing the illest shit.
Yeah, a lot of dope DJs out there in Albuquerque. I mean, Albuquerque, the culture is alive out there, especially all elements. Yeah, we've never really had any artists that kind of like, you know, took off completely. But I mean, in this day and age, that's not even necessary. What we doing right now, that's what you need to be doing. But the scene is dope out there. We got a lot of artists, different kind of.
Is it still Wild West out there, bro? Because Albuquerque's dangerous. Like, you go down over. I know it can go down anywhere and it can go down, but in Albuquerque, that shit you can just be at the stoplight.
Yeah.
Before you know you're in some shit, like motherfuckers trying to.
That's a fact. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I'm at work and then I go home. You might catch me at the grocery store. If there's a hip hop event, I'll step out, but I ain't trying to do too much. You know, I don't want to be a victim at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Because that's one of those places it can happen.
Definitely. A lot of drugs out there. People ain't thinking clearly. So, you know.
I saw someone about the war zone the other day. I was like, you ain't never been in the war zone out there? That's someplace you don't want to go.
Well, the whole thing is like the war zone now because the drugs are so bad. You got these people spread out all over Albuquerque, man. It's sad out there.
Well, my homie told me about New Mexico. He's like, the fucked up thing is everything is generational wealth.
Yeah.
So, like, these kids are entitled and they don't have to work for anything. Their parents got land, it's already paid for, and it's old money.
Yeah.
So by the time they get it, they're all fucked up on drugs and they just let it go to shit.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Then before you know it, it's like the.
So you gotta marry their daughters.
Gotta wife them up, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, you guys are talking about mixtapes, man. What are some of the classic mixtapes to you of all time?
Well,
Because, like I said, like, I'm gonna tell you a story, and this is like some toy shit to me on my behalf. And once I really actually think about it, but I'll tell you, I thought 50 MCs was one big session for some odd reason.
when you listen to the tape.
Yeah, I thought it was just one, you know, like he had all the homies just ran a 24-hour fucking or a couple hour thing, and everyone came through and it was done. And
that's your favorite mixtape of all time? I'm gonna say DJ Rectangle.
No, DJ. Okay. I don't know which one. I would say DJ Rectangles too, because he was like, I'm telling you, he was that cat that could get the wackest acapella, whatever. He got Ice Baby, and he put it to some beat that would have you fucking rocking out.
Crazy,
you know
right?
What I mean?
Yeah, you have Ice Cube rapping on a Tribe Called Quest beat.
Some crazy,
you know.
wild ass shit. His intros were always the sickest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, we never knew about really like the New York stuff. I know about Clue. I know about Doo Wop, Flex, Tony Touch, but I'm sure there's a million other MCs.
Oh, definitely. DJ Craig G.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Diamond D used to make tapes.
DJ Envy was making tapes.
Envy,
K
Finesse.
Slade, fuck, I mean,
K-Slade.
He kept it going too.
Lord Finesse used to make mixtapes. Buck Wild made a few mixtapes. But the more famous ones, I would say, coming up in the 90s, Ron G. Ron G. See, and that was the thing. You knew which DJs would do what. You know, as far as the party, DJ would have a mixtape with CD, tapes, CDs, whatever. So like, Ron was more like the cool out tapes where you can have instrumentals, hard body joints, but have R&B songs where you would appreciate them. Where especially like with women, they ride in the car, they hear all these beats coming on, but then they hearing Mary J. Blige doing some joints, and you know
they kind of doing that double take.
Exactly. So you know, so Ron was known for those tapes just as much as Kid Capri and Brucey B and all of them was known for their different variety of tapes where it would seem like when you in the car, you be at a party, more or less, you know, just listening to the exclusive. So and then you know later on, it's turned into the Clue got bigger. DJ Drama came in.
Yeah.
You know, people started, and this is where the mixtape started going away because Cats was getting so much exclusive stuff before the albums would come out, and
I think
affect the record sales, and you know, so
I think
this is how
Drama was talking about it where
he was the first one to get caught.
No.
DJ Spinbad, may he rest in peace.
What
DJ Spinbad had one of the illest mixtapes ever, where DJ Spinbad was the first mixtape DJ to have the feds come and shut him down. For this one mixtape he had, because he had two, and one of them was just a mashup of all these 80s songs, but he had them shits blended in so good where he was, like I'm saying, like the first guy to have these songs blending in with the original songs.
Oh, with the old songs.
But these were all 80 songs, hit songs, top 40 songs. The way he blended them so good. If you didn't hear these songs before and you just started listening to this tape, and from hearing these songs on there, he took you on a journey on this tape so crazy that when everybody heard about this, it was bananas because like, damn, people started trying to figure out like how good was that tape?
Right.
Where because he was selling them so much, and because that now became where the radar would come in, where labels and companies started paying attention. They started paying attention to these guys making money doing these tapes.
Now, what Drama was saying is they were getting so much exclusive material just for their tapes that the record companies were thinking it was their material, but it wasn't even really their material. It was the exclusive, but they kind of tagged it as that. You know what I mean? And that's kind of where, like you said, it all started, man.
Even everybody started getting. That's why the mixtapes started being presented as albums now. When Flex, Format of Flex became one of the first DJs to have albums like you had the Frankie Cutlass with behind us. They started making them compilation albums.
Clue had his.
Yes, Professional. And two.
I was gonna ask you that too, man.
Right.
In your guys' opinion, what are some of the best like mixtape albums, like you said, the Professional, and then some of the best producer albums, like say like when JD put out was it 1842 or like who else put out like producer albums, like you know what I mean?
Well, let's start.
Yeah, like Pete Rock, the one with Deck and
What was
What are we gonna start off with? We're gonna start off with the
Lord Finesse, but he was more on the MC tip, you know what I'm saying, when he did his stuff.
Right.
He was producing his tracks later though, but I kinda looked at him more as a rapper when he was.
Yeah, like people didn't know Finesse started doing beats more professionally was when he started working with Biggie.
Right.
So, Juicy and, the remixes he did and this Suicide joint, like these, that was Biggie. Like, I like, Finesse sound, DITC sound. So that's where that came into play.
Are we counting Dr. Dre in this stuff?
Yeah,
well, Dr. Dre doesn't. He had that one album.
Nah, he
had the Been There, Done
But
That.
you can say,
Or the Firm. You can count the Firm.
No,
as an
he
album.
also had 2001.
the Chronic.
But that's like an album though. That's not like a mixtape or that's not like a producer album.
But
That's
it's
like
still more of him and everyone else, not just by
you're right.
himself.
It's like to me, that's like the Dynasty too with Jay-Z. He had
Exactly.
all the homies that made it bang. You know what I mean?
Right, but Pete Rock had a L album, Soul Brother.
Yeah, so
that shit with Deck and Corrupt, bro.
Soul Survivor.
Soul Survivor.
Kid Capri had an album too.
He had an album
The
too.
Snoop and Slick
Clue
Rick.
had that one. Professional was amazing.
He had Eminem, Royce, and Method Man on the track. Yeah, they were getting some fucking putting in some
Clue
work.
had it for a minute. Clue had it for a minute.
That's what I hear. I have not heard many DJ Clue mixtapes. I need to listen to
Now,
more.
when we talk about the album,
Because I grew up on that.
album-wise, he had
I had the album.
joints.
Yeah.
Professional came out, 98 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But that was a good producer.
You gotta say which one is yours.
What?
Your favorite producer album.
Probably the Chronics. You know what I'm saying? Not really the Aftermath presents. Not really the first album where he left Aftermath, but definitely the Chronic, both the Chronics, the old one and the second one, both. You know what I'm saying?
A good DJ album producer, DJ Honda.
Right.
He has some bangers.
P Rock's album, Soul Survivor.
I'll say this with
P Rock's album.
P and I say, all right, if we're gonna go early first producer rhymer album produced by producer.
And Kanye. We count Kanye?
No. Let's start with Diamond. Diamond D.
True.
Diamond is one of the first producers to make produce his whole album, rhyme the whole album, feature other artists on the album, and only one song he didn't do, and that's the one Q-Tip did. Q-Tip produced one on there. So him and then like say Pete Rock being the DJ on the radio, being the producer and rhyming sometimes, but became an MC, and within the album that he produced, where it's a compilation of other artists on there, but he's on the song with them, for our Soul Survivor, part 1 and 2. And then, but we talking about Dre in the same way. It's still in the same way. You know what I'm saying? So all these records gonna be looked at because these dudes are MCs.
I count I count his as like his album, but I totally get what you're saying.
What about the Alchemist?
He is a producer.
And the
Alchemist.
Alchemist too.
He. I would say JD, bro.
Now,
Soul
Jay
Assassin.
Dilla.
Soul's Mugs too.
Mugs.
Now,
Soul
now,
Assassin.
but with Jay Dilla,
Jay
it's
Dilla?
in Welcome to Detroit album.
Mm-hmm.
That album is the same as, like I said, with Diamond and Pete Rock, where
Same thing.
when you listen to the whole album, he's on some of the songs, but not on all of them.
Yeah. And I was gonna say, going to that is one thing about Tony Touch. He would always drop a couple bars on his
Right.
mixtapes, you know, with the little freestyle.
See, look, even Tony Touch album.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I consider, like I
That
said,
goes
Frankie
back to
Covers,
definitely.
a monumental album, 50
Frankie
MCs,
Covers, yeah,
monumental.
50 hours.
Doo-Wop, 45, monumental.
Okay.
Funk Master Flex.
Doo-Wop was doing his thing.
Yeah, he was one of
Funk Master Flex albums, them shit
That first one.
but Doo-Wop was one of the first DJs that could rhyme really fucking good.
Yeah.
And
I remember his video.
hold his
Frankie
own
Covers shit,
on
yeah.
other people's songs with them.
I heard he was like kind of the ones that was really getting the exclusive stuff. Tony Touch said that's what inspired him for his 50
Right,
MCs, is
right.
that long ass intro on number 45.
I'm gonna tell you my favorite mixtape album is Saigon Warning Shots.
Oh, okay.
That's my favorite shit right
I
there.
like Saigon. That's the one that had that song on Niggas Come Through, Niggas Shot Them in the Head.
Stop it,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and then
Is that a mixtape that he
Let 'em
put
know.
out?
That's what he, let
It
him
was
know.
a mixtape, yeah.
That he put out?
Yeah,
Because that's like
first drop.
that's my next one. What are some mixtapes that artists put out, like 50 Cents? You know what I mean?
Those are
Saigon,
classics,
you know.
yeah.
Set
all
the
the
G-Unit mixtape run was fire.
Who
The
Kid shit.
motherfucking Dipset mixtape run was fire.
One of my favorite ones is Evidence, bro.
Alright.
Dilated People, that fucking Cali one, that whole shit from front to back, like,
The
Yeah.
Strong Arm Steady
Ooh.
mixtape.
you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Who are some mixtape guys that people don't know about? Like, I'm gonna tell you, like, some that I know from, like, the Bay, like, the Gumbo Mix. You ever heard that? Macadocious Nut or T-Ski, those fools from the Bay. They were doing a lot of that R&B that you're talking about.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, so East New Mexico is right on the Texas border, so we was getting a lot of DJ Screw tapes too. So a lot of people, and it Screw at first I couldn't listen to it. I could listen more to the R&B songs than the rap songs, but yeah.
Another thing with Screw is, like, I have to listen to some stuff that I've never heard before that Screw. Like, I don't want to hear T.I., you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Chopped and Screwed or Hail Mary.
But you can listen to the Isleys,
But yeah, or I can listen to
Chopped and
or I can
Screwed,
listen to
yeah.
Hawk or like Zero Chopped
Do
and
or
Screwed,
Die or
you
something
know?
like that. Yeah, Twisted.
Was that shit like a big influence in Albuquerque to people? Or?
In Albuquerque, yeah, because I mean, you know, it's a car culture out there, so you know, a lot of people got systems and everything, and Screw tapes was at one
Espanola.
point was crazy. Yeah.
Shout out Espanola.
Low rider capital of the world.
All right, because my homie Maker is from there, and I went down there for a weekend to kick it with him, and it's crazy because the roads are all fucked up. And he's like, people had to put hydraulics to get their fucking lowriders in, so that's how we got the hydraulics to get them through the fucking streets. And it's like, shit, you know, New Mexico, shit looks ghetto, bro. And they'll have a fucking bomb ass fucking garage with like 4 lowriders in that bitch. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
$100,000 type shit.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Hey, so what have you been doing lately, man? Have you been traveling? Have you been doing any shows? Because I know you've been to Denver a couple times.
So me personally, right now, like I just started a label, Clocked In Records, and we did Just P. We released a physical album with that.
Oh, shit,
I did some singles that I dropped, working with Empire for distribution for the digital, and then Traffic for the physical. And then next we got the album Just P, Body Bag Thin coming up. So we're gonna try to drop that this summer. All digital. Yeah. And then book whatever shows people out there get at us. We trying to make that work. So
Has that been picking up lately?
I mean right now it's show season. Like you look in LA, it's crazy right now.
Yeah. That concert in Vegas today, bro. I wish I'd have known that shit was going down. I would have went to
Which
that
one
shit.
is that?
It was like 50 motherfuckers. It's 50, Nori, Mariah
Oh,
Carey.
yeah,
It was like everybody, bro. Yeah. I went to Ron Fest in LA a couple weeks ago, and that shit was lit, bro.
Yeah, I
Like,
seen.
Oh, you went out there?
Yeah, that shit was fun. Hell yeah, bro. Kicked it with Afro and fucking Farside and fucking, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I'm trying to go to Back to Basics this year.
trying to hit all that shit, man. Trying to take the podcast kind of on the road, you know?
Right.
You got to.
Hell yeah. Hey, well, Just P, kind of tell us a little bit about you, man. Like, you said you're from New York.
Yeah, I'm from New York. I mean, I was born in Long Island, Huntington. I moved to Jamaica, Queens when I was 20, ran all through the streets. Once I moved to Brooklyn first. Once I moved to the boroughs from Long Island, it's like the suburbs to the city. I went all over the city, but I got years in Jamaica, Queens, and been doing this music shit for a minute. And here we are with good people, you know what I'm saying? But even without the music, I'm just a very interesting guy. I mean, I've lived life, you know what I'm saying? So I know many different people for many different reasons, you know what I'm saying? As well as I know you guys, you know what I'm saying? And one thing I've always liked to do when I encounter, like, just hear stories about myself, or, you know what I'm saying? They'd be like, oh yeah, because my name is Pierre, that would be like Pierre from over there. Just P is short for Justice and Power, or Just P, because it's always like, Pierre's always doing something, oh, that's just P over there doing something crazy, or, you know what I'm saying? It's always been like that, but I'm just a really interesting guy, either way you cut it, you know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah. Does Jamaican Queens have like good parts, bad parts, or
Yeah,
is it?
yeah. I mean, it has good parts and bad parts, you know what I'm saying?
How was it like growing up there? Were you kind of like around a lot of the rap culture?
I mean, yeah, that's a whole nother thing, just because, yeah, and that's not has nothing to do with Jamaica Queens, but just real quick before you get inside, Jamaica is big. There's like a lot of big parts where it's a mixture of like suburbs, because like from Long Island, and then you get the big buildings, which is the city. But Long Island is like suburbed out, kind of almost similar to like this, you know what I'm saying? So but when you get closer, Nassau County, then you cross, and then it's like, so you'll get like a house, and then you'll get fucking buildings and shit like that. Or you'll get like Jamaica, certain parts just be houses, like South Jamaica is just houses with one project, 40 projects. Daisley's like further on, but there's good parts, you know what I'm saying? Like North Side is kind of good, where it's just hardworking, middle class black people and stuff, you know what I'm saying? And even in the South, you know what I'm saying? Because people can just do dumb shit anywhere, you know what I'm saying?
For real. How'd you get into rap music or hip hop?
As far as writing rhymes, I've just been doing that since I was a kid, just to express myself. My family's musical, and then I've been around, like, for one way or another, I met a lot of interesting people and shit like that, but as far as, like, professionally, you know what I'm saying, I did music. I did fucking albums with, Chamber Music Records. It's kind of how I met him, and I started working with Chamber Music in '09, and that was just off the grind of what I had, like, you press up something, and you work it up.
Streets, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I came across you class, started working with a lot of Wu-Tang affiliated, because that's what Chamber Music does. And then I did that. Yeah, shout out to Class. He just called me, so I called back. And then even that, taking that and also doing my side, like me, my project solo. You know what I'm saying? Me and my partner, G.S. Advance, we've been doing albums since, that's someone I went to high school with, you know what I'm saying? So we put albums out and things like that. But every step, every release, you go a couple of steps further. That's one thing I look at, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's what it is, you know what I'm saying? Professionally since 2009.
Who were some of your like influences?
As far as music or hip hop?
Hip hop.
Man, Wu-Tang, Tribe, Tupac, Snoop, Scarface, you know what I'm saying? Ice Cube, Kid and Play, you know what I'm saying? All kinds of shit.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
But what? Yo, when I seen that part as a kid in the first movie, that made me start writing rhymes. Like, you know what I'm saying? He went home and started writing rhymes, you know what I'm saying, when he came from school.
Yo, I got the comic book. I got the Kid and Play comic book.
Remember the cartoon?
The Marvel, and the cartoon.
And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of fake seen the remake and was okay with it. That just came out like a month ago. But that's just, hip hop is my form of expression. Like, my family's musical, and I write like books and novels and things like that. But I want, like, that's my chosen medium where I use rhymes. You know what I'm saying? And that's that. You know what I mean? And I'll be doing that either way.
Hell yeah. Hey, let's talk about who are some of your favorite MCs. You know what I mean? Top of the list, like true MCs and all. I know there's so many categories, but like, you know what I mean? Like,
No categories?
Huh?
No categories, or just whoever?
Yeah, no categories. I mean, you know what I mean? Like your personal. You know what I mean?
I like Pac a lot. You know, Pac is like
The thing about Pac is he's one of my favorites too. I felt like you could feel Pac.
that's the truth.
And like I get that a little bit with Kendrick and certain shit where you feel that shit, you know what I mean? And it's like that emotion, like. And people said he didn't really have bars, like he didn't have crazy bars, but he wasn't whack by far. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was talking about fucking knowledge. You know what I mean? For the most part.
Yeah. And I think that's a misconception too. Like with Pac, with the bars and everything, because
They always say he's not lyrical.
well, he was a voice. I mean, music is an expression. Hip hop, rapping, that's a form of expression, and it doesn't. You don't have to be spiritual, miracle, lyrical to be
Right,
considered
right.
a lyricist, you know. And I think Pac, that's, you know, he was on a different timeline. He talked about,
Like you said, he was a voice. That was a great way to put it. Like,
yeah.
like he's
I wrote
an
books
icon.
about book reports about Tupac and shit like that. Like, it's way different. You know what I'm saying?
And you could tell the passion that he had for the culture and for the art. So just because he wasn't, you know, doing metaphors,
similes and metaphors and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He wasn't doing all that.
You can't discredit, you know,
Cause he gonna get on the
as
track
an
and
MC.
get busy.
Yeah.
That's true.
I always say, you know, you have your favorites because of what people do. It does, nobody ever likes the same thing or the same MCs. Everybody gonna like all MCs in different ways because of how they affect them. So for me, my favorite MC is Ceremoniez. You know what I'm saying?
Really dope.
My favorite MCs are like cats like Buster. Like they take me to a place of where like, damn, what made you think of that? Like Black Thought. And I think about these people and how I was introduced to them, listening to their early music, whether he was in Roots, because that's how I heard him. And when I heard him, I was like, damn, I mean, that's OC. You know, when you listen to people like that, it makes you, you know, special ed for me. Chubb Rock.
Chubb Rock. That was
First
one that
storyteller.
I was on, yes, like, oh man, he brought that back.
DOC. You know,
DOC.
these people have, you know, and Buckshot. You know, everybody that I name, I always said is like, you know, I don't know if you ever seen this episode of the Super Friends back in the day where all the Super Friends lost their powers and Robin had to be the one to get all of their powers to save them in time to get them and then get their powers back. But it was the first time you got to see all of the things happen in one person who have no powers. So when you think of all these MCs, I think like if I had to make a robot or make a super MC that I could mold into, I would think of all of these MCs, and I think about it, and when I write my songs, and what I've learned from all of these MCs I talk about. So when I think about my top five, like I said, I talk about Big Daddy Kane, Coogee Rap, Chuck D, Rakim. You know, when you listen to these people and the voices they have, not just how they spit, what they all gave me coming up, knowing like this is the bar that I have to get to be considered any kind of way like them, and this is how you get influenced into doing these things, and that was what my goal was. Even if I didn't think it was possible, I just feel like if I ever want to get in this, I want to be regarded in a way like that.
I was gonna ask you, do you remember the first time you heard the Ceremoniez, Nate Dogg?
Oh yeah.
That song. What do you
I
think of that
heard
shit?
because look, like I said, I know who Munch is, and to know that him and Most is on the song, I know what Most can do too. But like they asked Nate Dogg, what's the one song you can think of collaboration wise that's your top favorite? And he said, oh no. And Rap City, and they was like, and they said, wow. He said, why that song? He said, out of all the songs you could have picked, he said because that was the first time I was in the studio with some dudes who really, really was MCing, like really getting busy, and it made me feel a certain way where I just came up with that hook, but they made that happen for me inside where I never been in a room with two guys. So Nate Dogg even said and co-signed what I'm saying, like he never heard no months do a guy in the studio with him, all that shit he was doing. Nate was like, wow, this is what it's about for him. So for him even to get that off his chest, for me, when I heard it, I was like, you know, Monch is in an alien MC form type shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so there's not a lot of people like him.
What do you think about his new rock shit?
I mean, like I said, not a lot of people like him.
There's not.
He even pulls that shit off.
Yeah, it took me for a double take. I seen him not too long ago, and he was doing the rock shit.
But it's the 13 in Organized Confusion, and there is his alter ego. So that's why it was convincing for me to see him doing it, and was working with good people doing it.
What's crazy is like I probably don't even think like someone like Pharoah was mentioned on that top 50 list, and they have no idea. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how do you not put that cat?
I mean, those that don't know, you know, he's on that list, but
Is he?
may not be as high as we may want him to be. But who is?
Yeah.
I
it's
I look
different.
at, yeah, I look at
Yeah, so you gotta break it down.
dwellers, you gotta look at a
Like
lot
with
of
him,
cats.
you got to do like the most lyrical MC, and you put him there. You put some, you know.
But
That's why I can't
that's where,
pick a
but see,
favorite.
that's where,
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
that's where you're gonna run into roadblocks because it's like,
Exactly.
being an MC is about being everything. And even where it's like, you know, where how you're already being lyrical, being an MC. Our level of MCing may not be the average person's lyrical taste of what we're talking about. So for some, where we look at super MC, these people here can't even pretty much follow it.
Yeah.
So their brand of what they listen to is this. And then when they get into this, baby, they be like, oh, you know, I see the difference. Because that's the clashing of what we say where it comes from, like, MCs and rappers.
Right.
You know, a lot of people listen to rappers where, like, we listen to MCs because we looking for the lyrical in them. And it's not in everybody. So you have to accept there are tiers of MCs that we listen to where they say God MC and, you know, backpack MC and this MC, conscious MC. So it can't be that. It'll just be when you hear these people level wise, if you put them in the room and lock everybody in and everybody say their best verses, go. And if that has to be the judgment of everybody that's in the room, nobody's gonna say, they're just gonna say, wow, he was better than him. And because they're gonna now look at, wow, he was more of a presentation and lyrical and characteristic. So then that's when people would look at it in that way of what we was about to say.
Right. I was gonna ask you to be considered a true MC. You got to be able to freestyle.
No.
No.
No, because that's another misconception. Because like then you're gonna run into how do we judge MCs that freestyle and how they make records, and then how do we judge MCs that make records that don't freestyle?
I mean, there's like you said, there's too many components to it. Like because you can say I consider Papoose a top MC, but like he doesn't make good rap tracks like Drake. He doesn't have the numbers, you know what I mean? But he can fucking spit his ass off, like.
But there's a lot that goes into that when you make that comparison because it's like a machine and then not a machine, a consistency,
True
but
that.
then a machine of where not as years in consistent, but evident because it's on every day.
And it's a great skill set to have as an MC, but yeah, I mean, like, Tino Excel is one of my favorite MCs, but the shit that he say, that's not coming off of a freestyle. So, not to take away anything from Tino, because I don't know his freestyle skill set, but the shit that he writes, I couldn't imagine that him freestyle. So I wouldn't be as entertained to hear him freestyle as like I am when he's on the record.
And that's a lot of people. A lot of people not as nimble on the brain to jump around on a track to not write shit down. Go in the studio and just layer it up. You know, it's cool to do, but it's like, you know, I always feel like your best things will come out when you concentrate and when you do sit down and focus, where it won't just be flashes, it'll be consistent, like boom, 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 boom. But I know a lot of dudes that can go bananas, and all it is being contained. Because a lot of MCs that freestyle feel like when they do get on the 16 bars, like, yo, I'm not saying enough in the 16 where when I freestyle, I'll get into a, you know, groove. But when you would, you know, always say, if you can contain yourself and bottle up the freestyle attitude and aspect of now knowing that you got 3 chances of 16s and an 8-bar hook in between to make an impression rather than one long freestyle.
Cannabis.
Not even so much him, but just really like when you think about how you, and I think that a lot of focus is going away from the care into doing songs. Where people go in the booth and feel like, you know, they go spit 4, come back out, spit another 4, say, hey, look, that's cool, but in the form of like the song making, the form of making a hook, an anthem, a remembrance of when the song goes off, you're waiting for it to come back on again, even if it's on the radio, you won't get tired of it, you love it. This was gone, the care of doing songs. Because people now focus on just like, yo, my 16 gonna be hot. about the build up in the 16, the giving something to somebody to say, yo, I remember that song was like, wow, let's play that again.
Right.
You know, that element is gone, and because of everybody concentrating on just saying the hot things and not the hot whole song.
Right. I respect the art of freestyle, but like, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't want to hear brothers freestyle all night. Like that shit is irritating to me. Like, I mean, I respect the cipher, but then some people they just want to do it for hours and hours and hours, and then you know the skill level starts decreasing. Yeah, it's just not as entertaining. Like if I'd rather hear a dope written.
Do you consider a written on the spot a freestyle? Like when you,
Because I was gonna say there are different definitions of a freestyle from back in the day, right? Like back in the day, a freestyle wasn't off the top.
I think a freestyle is whatever you want it to be.
Right. Cause I knew dudes that freestyle and say some written and go off after the written over, they go to freestyle.
They mix it up. That's what I'm saying. When you put it, I think it's just impromptu. It makes it a freestyle. To me, that's
Mix and match.
Yeah, if you want to, because you can spit a written that's on the spot, and you know what I mean. It could be
Well, we was talking about mixtapes too. Like you see on the mixtape listing, it'll say freestyle, but
that's true.
it ain't off the top freestyle.
Right.
Or them ciphers in BET where they fucking practice it like 4 fucking times, and then pick the next fucking tape. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
Because it's impromptu. You know what I'm saying?
Heck yeah. Hey, what do you guys think in Denver, man? You guys have been here a couple times.
Love it. I mean, it ain't just because of the weed either. The sites are dope. I've been out here a lot, Ceremoniez and stuff like that. So I've been coming here. I came here when y'all lost the Super Bowl.
Which one
That
was
was
that?
sad.
Was that Peyton Manning?
Yeah.
Because that one was sad, bro. That was that first play of the
we
game.
was in Idaho first, and we came here, and like people came to the show, but you could tell the town was sad.
I love Denver, but I'm gonna be a hater, man. I don't want to see y'all advance in the playoffs.
Why is that?
Man, I'm a Mavericks fan.
Oh, you're talking about Nuggets.
Yeah.
I was just talking about that today. How the fuck do you have Luka? And like he's one of my favorite players.
And don't make the
don't make
playoffs.
the fucking playoffs.
Because you make decisions on letting people go earlier than that when you let Brunson go.
That's a fact.
That's what
a
happened.
fact. But y'all on fire. Y'all probably got the best team on the West.
Yeah.
Definitely. But yo, there's a Jamaican spot out here. I think it's called, I can't even remember. I was out here with the alcoholics and we went there. And I gotta find that place again, man. That was like the best Jamaican food I ever had.
Too many spots.
Yo, that's a dope name for it though. It's called, I can't even remember.
I can't even remember that.
I'd be like, yo, there's a spot.
But I remember that. But I remember the
I remember how it tastes.
You're gonna have like the listeners all looking for some place called I can't
even
remember.
remember.
I can't remember.
Yo, write that down. Write that. Yeah, I wrote that. There we go. No, that's dope.
And yo, shout out to Stat, man, over at Bar Red.
Yeah, for sure.
Because he been keeping
About to order some food too.
Heck yeah. Hey, what kind of new things you guys got coming out? You got any new music coming out or?
Well, I'll say this right now. The Artifacts album is out. No expiration date. Produced by Buck Wild. If anybody want to cop that, all the vinyl is gone. I have no more CDs going, but you can go digitally and pick up the album on any streaming site, Spotify, whatever, Apple, Google, all that shit is up there. New tour coming up this May and June in Europe. Me and my man DJ Mr. Lynn from Company Flow, Jersey DJ representative. We going on the road, and it's like being with Lynn on the road is like being with Chaos. He does the same thing, same mannerisms, so it gives a big comfortability for me. I'm gonna put out a new album very soon with my man Tony Galvin. May he rest in peace. This is gonna be a lot of videos for this album, a lot of guests. I'm not gonna say too much right now, but put out a single maybe in June after I do the tour, and put the album out maybe before the fall. But four albums gonna come out back to back to back, and y'all gonna see all this stuff happening. But for right now, no expiration date. Salute Tame One, DJ Chaos, man. They rest in peace. This has not been easy. It's been a little difficult, but a lot of things that's still gonna happen. I'm gonna make happen, and y'all just know that the tradition will continue.
Hell yeah. Shit, our condolences go out to you, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right now I got a group. I'm in a group called American Poets 2099. we about to drop a new album. Like I said, my man Just P working on dropping his. I got an EP that I'm doing right now that I'm just gonna do digitally. Put that out there as a rapper, and then I got a producer album that I'm working on as well. Doing some production for Spice One for his new album, Nevermore for Crucial Conflict. Doing some stuff with him.
I was gonna ask you about that, man. How did you become connected with some of the cats you have? Cause you know,
Just the networking, man.
Razkaz, Spice One, Tash.
You know, hip hop. I'm a fan first. Always been a fan first, and then I just have so much respect for the culture. I'm a hip hop junkie, so a lot of opportunity that I had to, build with a lot of brothers. Just, exchange contacts and wherever we can help each other out. That's where I'm at with it. So
That's where I'm here.
It's been building ever since, huh?
This ain't about just some MC shit, y'all.
yeah.
This is all business, you know what I'm saying? Black business, every kind of business, as long as this is about like growing in business, us sharing knowledge, me being an elder and understanding my role and what I'm standing for right now. And we talked a lot, even before we even started doing multiple shows, doing shows like this, even this weekend that we're doing. This is just proof that when we put plans together, things can work. You know what I'm saying? Like, this man is good at what he does. It's not a lot of black cats out there doing what we're doing, what he's doing. So I always say this, when a lot of times when I come out west, I'm gonna tell y'all, I always say this, a lot of times I always wonder where the black promoter is, because we're kind of non-existent. And this is the thing that I would say too, that's dope, and it's a reminder. Majority of times that I do shows out west is most of the time a Mexican promoter, and maybe sometimes a white promoter. Never really a black promoter. So I rise up when I see that, because when I look at where hip hop come from, I go out west, I don't see a lot of my people that deal with the culture part. It'll be the fancy part, and the MCs, the bigger names that cats will get together and bring out, but it's never the culture part.
Why do you think that is, though, Al?
It's like with everything that we do. You know what I'm saying? Like, cats, it's also an age gap. It's a bridge where with older promoters, they'll do as much as they can to do this, but because there's no attention to the young cats about just this thing in general, what real, not say what real hip hop is, but there's no light shown on it, because younger cats of our age group that's still going to shows, and maybe some in their 20s and 30s, they still participate, where the younger generation that's in charge now don't participate, because you see the music that they're putting out. So where we come from is always going to be younger and older, where the young older dudes like, yo, they don't know nothing, the younger cats like, they too old. So there's no togetherness until you see like some cypher, BET cypher, or like they did at the Grammys, where they go from older all the way to the young. You saw how it changed from big party records and hooks and anthems and hip hop array and Buddy and everything. And then it went to just the trappy part of it, and that's when you've seen the decline of us older generation not giving correct education to the younger cats to let them understand, like, look, we here with y'all. Look, we are performing with y'all in the same environments and shows and festivals. So I think where we went wrong is not teaching that part of it, but it can work. It is working. There's a lot of parts where I think now they understand that, when we say passing on the torch, and when we say that is the bridge and the gap of our generations, it's just us saying to the younger cats, like, look, man, we know y'all like don't have no Grandmaster Flash of y'all generation. Like, the young generation don't have no self-destruction. They have no awareness of like where to stop and come together is what it is. So we're trying to deal with it in a way where, like, even through music, but there's still levels of the music. Underground hip hop, this kind of hip hop, radio, pop, hip hop. It's all this shit. Got singing and rhyming. It's a lot of stuff. So, but
You know what I find out is that a lot of brothers make fun of underground.
right, because it's not, because they feel like it ain't gonna make them no money. They feel, but then when they see today's 50th year anniversary, now everybody is so called into it now. A lot of shows going on, a lot of festivals going on, a lot of stuff where people like, oh, yeah, but see, but look, it's not convenient to be that. This is what it is. Every year celebrate hip hop in a full way. You know what I'm saying? Like you have afternoon shows where it's the throwback show. Then at night is all the little other music, but it's not together. You go to parties, they have a section where to be the throwback part, the radio part, the reggae part, the oldies and goodies part. But then it's because it's a party. It's everybody in the party you have to cater to.
Yeah.
And hip hop ain't that way where it's catering to everybody.
Nah,
There's different levels of so much mother shit, so many people, so much stuff that it has to be, but it still also has to include everybody too. Just because this is what it is, I understand it, but there are really no black promoters that deal with underground hip hop in a way of, like he said, because they say, well, they ain't gonna give me no money, that's backpack, blah, blah, blah. Do your research, it does.
Well, that's what I was gonna tell you, man. I need to hook you up with my homies from the Cycle Room too, because that's a whole different element of a group of people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've been in their studio and recorded out there at the Drug Lab out in Cali.
Yeah, we was talking about it last time with Razzcast, remember?
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, they got their own little whole movement out there in Cali. Yeah,
There's some cats that I saw out there, man, that really impressed me for like that. Like I kind of didn't know about these cats called Coyote. Were fucking tight as fuck. And this chick, Reverie.
Oh yeah, I know Rev.
Yeah.
Killing it, like.
Even is Vel Wonder? Where's Vel Wonder from? Vel Wonder from? She's from over there, right? And Stone Products from over there, right?
No, she's from like Texas. You know?
Yeah, she's from Texas.
Snow's from Texas?
Yeah.
And Vel's from Cali? Okay. They're both nice.
They got some dope female MCs out here.
Yeah, this chick named Renee's pretty dope, man. There's this chick, she's a singer, she's R&B, and name's Rachel Bay. There's some cool singers, rappers here and there, you know what I'm saying? I was gonna ask y'all, man, by chance, do y'all have any verses or what? You down to kick a verse?
I mean,
You got some for us, Just P?
I do.
You got an acapella or what?
Yeah, but are we rapping? Okay.
I
know, that's what I'm saying. If everyone's doing it, I'll do it. But if not, then leave me alone. You know what I'm saying? But if you need me to.
I'll spit something real quick.
Alright, so then I'll do it then. Okay.
I'll make the skin on your hair raise once my rhyme is spoken. Cut the head off Medusa and throw it out in the ocean. How dare you get the notion that you deserve a title? Put your mouth on the curb is how I serve my rival. One hand on the Bible, I swear I'm never scared. If a rapper wanna take it there, I'm well prepared. These bitches stare whenever I enter the room. The reason why, because I'm fly like a witch on a broom. I understand you might listen to whom. I'm not a fan. Get the trash can. I'm listening to MF Doom. Grimy nigga. Even though I'm still well groomed, one of the illest. People saying get well soon. Never had a silver spoon, fam. I eat with my hands. Got money for a feature, I will meet your demand. My rhyme content. Open up your pineal gland. If you're remedial, then you might not understand. The only way I can pitch it is to give it underhand.
I like that. Check it. Yo, sparring sessions with Zeus. I swim laps around Poseidon. I'm eating salmon with his trident. I spark a L with the lightning. Frightening. Potential surpasses Mount Olympus. My first rhyme book, I wrote that with hieroglyphics. Polo shoe wearing, pussy wall tearing. The weight of the world, the crown is overbearing. The bitches and the fellas know I'm gang related like in Helico. See me everywhere I go is Matalo, day hello. Now in a minute you'll be trespassing. On so what you doing here? I ain't just asking. The swordsman, no talk, nigga just slashing. I make you wear a $150 like it's just action. I'm being smacked, but there you go. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate you,
yeah, I don't even want to. That's it? All right.
So to you, did you want,
The Black Menace.
The Black Menace. I
Be on the lookout for the body bag bin
yo,
album.
first of all, Just P, the Black Menace, Body Bag Ben album, motherfucking Just P and Bo Fat, Supreme the Almighty, that's coming soon. Just P and Swab, that's coming soon.
You got a gang of shit, huh?
I mean, I try to work as much as possible. I mean, I'm mad smack with the fucking cookie and I'm stumbling over words. But yeah, check my music, check me whatever. If we get in, I'm with the shit, see what I'm saying? Crazy.
You guys got any final thoughts? Any last words?
Yeah, man, we about to go knock this show out, go get
Yeah,
ready.
Right.
To the bar red, my man Stat, me and Sadat, my man Just P, Master Ceremony, we about to come through. My man DJ Hush is waiting for us. About to go give him the stick and let him put the music in and make this happen.
Shout out to Denver. Shout out to the Southwest, man. I want to build with more Southwest MCs too. So yeah, on the Instagram it's MastaofCeremoniez. That's Master Ceremonies with an A and a Z on the end. But yeah, Denver MCs, reach out to me. I know I've built with a lot of y'all out there at Bar Red, but yeah, we trying to expand the Southwest stage.
For sure.
Yeah, hopefully I won't be smack, man.
What's your social
Yo, I'm
media?
Just P100, JUSP100, the Black Menace. Google me, search me. I'm out there. I'm everywhere.
And what's your social media there, L?
Alright, so it's L_DA_Sensei, SENSEI. So my other page was hacked, so unfollow Sensei from NJ.
Okay.
The new one, EL_DA_SENSEI, Elder Sensei, and I'm there. Come check me out.
There you have it. Once again, it's your boy JoeThunder, Smoking JoeThunder podcast.
Smoking
Elder
Joe.
Sensei,
Smoking Joe.
Master of Ceremonies, Just P.
Just P.
Check them out, man. They got that hot dialogue fire.
Yes, sir.
Better.